Baker. Here we have Jasper here at the booth, and we have Jay next to me.
Jasper from what's your introduction? What's your self-introduction?
So I was a race car driver, so didn't make it. So here I am in the booth.
Well, we're getting honest here, right? So we are here at Laguna Seca, beautiful California. What's on the table tonight?
So we have round 2 of the online qualifiers. So here I just give a brief explanation of our race format. We're going to have 25-minute qualifying and a 30-minute race to follow. And our official hardware sponsor for the event is Chemist. They will supply the DDW 15-meter and LC100 pedals, GT1 steering wheel for our offline grand finals. And here we have our online qualifier entry list to follow.
So we already did one round of championship. First up for Australia, we have Felipe Burquita on 4th place with 21 points, with Mia Rose, Marino Morera, and Lucas Burst at 5th. The Australian team played it quite safe in the first round, but Mia Rose had ran into unfortunate 11 incident. I think they're trying to push a bit more in this race, right?
And from Bangladesh entry, we have Fahad Gafford, the sole entry from Bangladesh.
Next up, we have Chinese Taipei. Chinese Taipei still had not opened their point scoring yet, with Gary Lin and Huang Yuhuang being quite competitive in the midfield. So hopefully they can do one better and get some points in the back.
And here we have the Hong Kong China entry. We have Keo Yim winning the first round of the online qualifiers, currently standing first in the driver's standing with 35 points. And we have Chris Jung currently 11th with 5 points, and Chester Lam 15th with 1 point. And we have Cars Lee to round up the Hong Kong China entry.
And for Indonesia, we have Andika Rahma Maulana, Moreno Pertama, Fahid Rahmat, and Muhammad Irfan. Indonesia should be a very strong nation, but unfortunately both Pratama and Maulana ran into incidents in round 1, so this is going to be a round where they make up the grounds.
Alright, and for our Macau China entry, we have Skyline currently 3rd in the championship with 25 points, and we have Hei Leung, Jerry Khan, and Jason C.
All the McLarens from Macau still had not scored a point. They were competitive in the midfield, so they just need a bit more pace.
And we have our Malaysia entry. We have Muhammad Afiq, and we have Amir Haski, currently 12 in the championship. And we have Camille Ali and Nabil Aslan, currently 13th in the championship with 3 points.
So again, two of the cars from Exo Sports scoring points. That's important. Try to do a bit more to secure top 12 place.
And we have Philippine entry. We have Russell Reyes, 6 in the championship with 15 points. Alex Campano, Francis Gonzalez, and Aldo Ray Velagunan from the Team Philippines. And here we have the Singapore entry. We have Dylan Tan currently 2nd in the championship with 30 points after finishing 2nd in the last race. And Muhammad Tasbi currently 8th with 11 points. And Muhammad Afiq currently 14th. And we have Muhammad Jamansvi currently 9th in the championship with 9 points. And here we have the sole entry from Thailand, Tanabo Wong Siri. In the first round, he was unable to score any points, so hopefully he can do better this round.
So that's our entry list. We are currently on track for the qualifying. They just did the first lap. The first lap is quite fast for Russell Reyes. Already we are seeing a 1:19.9. We were expecting somewhere between low to mid 19 for the pole time.
Yeah, straight off the bat, Russell Reyes, he did a 1:19.9, so that's very, very fast for a first lap. And here we have Dylan Tan shooting up to the top of the timetable. And, Russell, I think his lap time got deleted.
Russell Reyes. No, not really. I think his time stands because only the registered time shows up on the graph. But we have Milana and Pratama both pushing on the track right now.
Yeah, so all the drivers are trying to get a quick lap in at the start of the session.
It's quite hard to catch up to all the times because we have more than 20 cars on the track right now, and Kyung has done a purple sector 1. And we're looking at his hot lap. We're expecting low 19s by the pace of it.
So his purple sector 1 is a 30.565, currently 2/10 clear of the fastest driver.
We come around the final corner. A lot of the corner on this track doesn't have a name. That's why it's confusing. Our turn 11, the run to the flag. Not quite there. It's 19.9.
I'm sure everybody have heard of this race track. There's a very famous corner at corner 8 called the Corkscrew, one of the most iconic corners in this racetrack.
Right now, Pratama with a purple sector 1.
30.304. So a good 2/10 quicker than Kyo's fastest sector 1. So all the drivers right now, they're trying to find the perfect line, and they're just settling into this session. So all of them are actually pushing quite hard early on to the session. All the drivers, they want to get a very decent lap in, so give themselves a bit of a margin to push later on in the session. Because last round we do see some drivers trying to do a lap time at the end, but then just narrowly missing out, or maybe they made a mistake and they were not very satisfied with their final lap time. So we see some drivers here just pushing early on, just trying to get that right feeling in the track, because this Laguna Seca Raceway circuit is not very forgiving. There's not much runoff area, as you guys can see on the track. Most of the outside areas are sand, so if you do run wide, you're just going to be dragged into the sand and your whole lap is just going to be ruined.
So right now, one of the drivers who didn't do quite good in qualifying last time is Milana. So this time he's trying to set things right, but he's still 4th, which for his standard is not really what he wanted. He's looking for a place on the front row at least. Here we see Dylan Tan bailing out on this lap because he got some traffic on the last corner.
And so yeah, finding a clean spot in front of you to do a lap is very important, because there's 33 cars on the track, and the track is quite crowded on a qualifying session. So the drivers have to play it really smart and try and find a gap for themselves to do a lap time. Because you see, unfortunately here, Dylan Tan, there's another car in front of him, and so his lap is definitely going to be affected. It's not going to be one of the quickest lap time. As you can see, there's some slow cars on the track, so finding that gap for yourself is extremely important.
Yes, because it's a quite short track, only like 3-point-something kilometers, and when you have 30 cars on it, it becomes really crowded.
So yeah, currently we have Pratama top of the timing sheet within 1:19.582, and just closely followed by Dylan Tan, just less than a tenth, half a tenth actually slower than Pratama. And Russell Reyes currently in 3rd, 1/10 down. It's a very, very tight field, Jay. The session just started and drivers already banging out quick laps.
Well, as we see in Mugello, over a 2-minute lap, we're expecting top 10 to be within half a second. That's how tight we're cutting it. So if you want to go into the top 12, you better not be anything more than 7/10ths from the pole. So Dylan Tan doing it, 1:19.544, just edging out Moreno Pratama.
So yeah, great lap there from Dylan Tan from Singapore. So he has always showed exceptional pace in qualifying. He did I think in fact qualified first last round, but in fact I think they had a little bit of incident at the start, so he ended up finishing 2nd in the race. So hopefully this round Dylan could pull off that maiden victory.
We have Amir Hasik here and doing his personal best lap, running a bit wide there over the mountain.
So yeah, so all drivers trying to improve. They're all trying to find a gap right now. And on track, we see that Malaysian entry of the Z4 GT3. What a beautiful, beautiful livery.
Yeah, classic model, beautiful livery. Oh, he's spelling out of this lap, so this is not gonna be it. On the other hand, we have Skyline doing his personal best sector 1, which is a green sector 1, which is not a purple, but still there's something to work on. So this is gonna be his second attempt, I think.
So yeah, see what his second attempt could bring. He's bailing out of that first attempt. I think he's gonna go back to the pits. Put a fresh set of new tires and come back out.
It's quite interesting that they intended 2 purple sectors, but then went back to the pit. So he's probably on a very fast lap, but then he had to bail out.
He actually didn't do a very good sector 2.
Yeah.
His first sector and sector 3 was really good. 2 purple sectors, but then I think he made a mistake at the second sector, or he ran into traffic.
Yep. On this track is very real. So we are seeing Skylight and Kyo Yim, 2 teammates in semi-formation, but Skylight short out. On that turn, what turn is that?
So that's, I believe, is turn 5?
Turn 6.
Turn 5 or turn 6, yeah.
Turn 6, yeah. Turn 6 is a tricky turn because there was only one line, and on the inside,
Ooh,
here you see
say-
just Murphy getting really out of shape out of turn 5. On turn 6 on the inside, there's a sausage curb that you absolutely do not want to touch, because touching it means sending the whole car flying outside.
Yeah, and your cars get bounced off the apex, and you bounce off the track, and that's what exactly happened. So in this track, there's a lot of elevation change, as you could see. You know, the cars go up and down the circuit.
We just saw Chris Zheng almost hitting the traffic, coming down the hill, but then I think he's on quite a flyer right now.
Yeah, I think all the drivers they did quite a good job, you know, getting out of the way when drivers are on the fast lap. But you know, there was some unavoidable conditions like what we saw just now. You know, he tried his best to get out of the way, but then you know there's only that much space on the track. So unfortunately, there I think a lap ruined for the driver on a flyer.
So right now, Chris Zheng and Chester Lam, two drivers from Hong Kong, are on 13th and 14th. They are always on the edge of the point scoring position, so they need to find just a bit more to get in the top 10.
So just a quick reminder, you know, the top 12 drivers in the standing will be able to qualify for the offline grand finals on December 17th in Hong Kong. So the top 15 drivers will score points. So it's very, very important. Every point counts for these drivers trying to squeeze into the top 12. So like driver like Chester and like Chris, they are always hovering around the 12 to 15th position. So, you know, this is a good chance for them to put themselves, you know, towards the upper part of the top 10, maybe P10 or P9. That will give them a very, very strong, you know, point scoring position. So they have to try and put it off here in qualifying. It was proved to be very, very hard to overtake during the race because every driver is driving a very defensive line, trying not to give up anything.
Christian did a personal best, which put him 12th. So a small improvement, but improvement nonetheless. He's still around 8 to 9 tenths to the pole time. So he was looking for another 2 or 3 tenths to make it safe.
Yeah, so if you can just break into, you know, just be slower, slightly under, you know, 6 tenths, he will be well into the top 10s. But, you know, obviously it's easier said than done.
So look at Birds. This time in P6 again. So he finished P6 in round 1. So he is currently the fastest Australian on the grid right now. We are hoping to see Bokita improve a bit. So just bail out on this lap and then try another fast one because Skylight was coming up behind him quite rapidly.
And yeah, we do have some viewers saying that aren't cars supposed to be following each other on the straight to get some slipstream? Yes, but then you could also be affected by the drivers in front if you're always following a driver. Some fast lap driver, they rather drive on their own and not have the slipstream, but have a clear track to themselves. So two very different driving styles. Some drivers, they do prefer following other drivers. So have a reference of what's their line, when are they faster or slower through the corners. But then that's just personal preference. You see here, Lucas Brass, he doesn't like the traffic. He quickly dispatched the slow car at the back and then onto his flying lap.
So I see Burst following Russell Reyes, kind of. Russell Reyes is a good reference because Russell Reyes right now just 2/10 off the pole time. So if he can stay on his tail and then have this reference point, wow, he almost ran out of track. Just managed to get on the on the black stuff. And so on the cross groove, if you're on a really fast lap, you almost run over the curbing. And down the mountain, the car is spotted a bit on that piece of tarmac right there. Last corner, you brake at the second brake mark. So you see him doing a bit of weaving, so probably he's not really in the right temperature zone for this time.
Yeah, he probably started his flying lap and felt like, oh my god, my tires are not warmed enough yet, so I'm gonna use this lap to get my tires up to temperature, and then here we go again. And hopefully this is the lap for Lucas Brass.
The lap is okay. It's not really an improvement, but his first sector was his fastest. So the car is kind of coming into the right condition right now.
Yeah, so currently still Dylan Tan, quickest top of the time sheet with a 1:19.405 with Pratama almost 2 tenths behind, 0.17 tenths behind. And we still have Russell Reyes in third.
So right now we're seeing improvement from Jason C. Jason C didn't come into it with the expectation to be front runners, I perceive, because a lot of these guys, their first time in this sort of international competition. It would be good just to survive and then maybe luck into the points once or twice.
Yeah, because these drivers, they're still not out of it, Jay. If they could score some decent points in the race, even though they finish 15th or finish 14th, and then going to the last round of the race, if some drivers that were point-scoring drivers, they somehow did not score points, they do still actually have a chance to come to the grand finals. They just have to put it together. The second round is very important. They have to score some points if they want to make it.
You just want to be not too far back, because when you're too far back, all the incidents happens in front of you, and that's not helping. So if you're somewhere in the mid-pack or front mid-pack, you have a better chance of making the full lap one.
So just now, Hei Leung did a P17. I think he did an improvement up to P17.
Yep. He's still around 1.5 seconds off, so which is quite a large margin if you talk about esports. But for this kind of drivers, you're happy to be within 2 seconds of those, because who is in the front are the absolute best in Asia right now.
Yeah, I mean, generally a 1.7 gap in the motorsport is pretty huge. But then, comparing for this level, they are doing pretty well for their first international competition.
So Malana is doing another quick lap, at least trying to. He's on P3, which is not a bad start, but the gap from P3 to P7 is not much, just 2 tenths. So any moment someone could pop up and then push him down to row 3 or even row 4. So everyone has to be out there pushing, and because this track is quite slow, you have to keep cycling to keep the tire temperature up. So not really a lot of margin for errors here.
Yeah, so this driver, they have to warm up the tires and put those tires in a working temperature in order for those tire to perform. And they're talking about the slightest of margin, so a few degrees off in temperature could affect the car's grip level and how they rotate the car in the corner.
And because we are starting quite early here, we are starting kind of and a break of the dawn on this track, so the timer isn't quite warm yet. So it takes a lot of time, a lot of work to. So we have Russell Reyes here. Russell Reyes doing good as always. So he was the best chance for Philippines to hit the finals, and he's doing it right now.
You saw him there slowing down on that entry to the last corner just to set himself up to a flying lap. Make sure just don't overcook those tires on those last corner, excuse me, and just try and do a good lap to challenge for the top two.
Yeah, it's not too far off. It's just 1 or 2 tenths from P2, but we are talking about like the last 0.1% of performance is trying to squeeze out on the car. So it's much easier said than done.
Yeah, so we're not seeing any drivers setting, purple sectors. We are seeing some drivers setting, like personal bests. But then it seems like, the top three has done a big moment here for Russell Reyes getting, off the track. So this lap is probably not going to be his best.
Yep. And we see Gary Lin moving off from the racing line big time. And it's kind of like F1, right? The qualifying laps. You move out of the racing line to give space for the guys on the hot lap, but that will hurt him because his tire pressure and tire temperature is basically gone.
But then for some people who didn't know, that's the rules. You have to get out of the way. You can't, intentionally block another driver on the quick lap. You cannot just, in any sort of, form to distract them or put them off their race, their lap. So it's not they have a choice. They have to do it,
Yep, sometimes. It's funny that a good spot on the track is, for one, is avoiding traffic in the front. The second is avoiding traffic on the back. So right now his tire is cold. He will need another lap to bring it up, and then probably the car in front will do a slow lap. So good luck for Gary. Yeah. Keep trying. So right now the best hope for Chinese Taipei is Huang Yuhuang. He did quite well in Mugello as well. Somewhere in the top 20. Have a clean and eventful race, I guess. Quite eventful race. Let's see what he can do here.
His next goal is trying to break into the top 15 and score some decent points for Chinese Taipei.
This lap, are we seeing some better sectors? Are we seeing Chris Zhang doing a better sector? Let's go on board with him. Chris Zhang coming out the last turn.
So currently Chris Zhang's lap is 8 tenths, off pole position. He's on a decent lap. He did a personal best sector 1. And he's just going to come across that sector 2 line in a few moments, and we will know if his lap is potentially good enough to improve.
So Russell Reyes just did a 19.517, which put him exactly on second spot.
So well done to Russell Reyes. He improved his lap time. Yep. He currently put himself in P2, 1/10 off the pole lap time.
So Russell Reyes had a decent finish, P4 in round 1. So another podium finish here probably will seal his result and make sure he can come to Hong Kong for the grand final. So Skyline has more in the tank. We are looking at the last lap was the out lap. So this sector 1 isn't the best. It's a yellow, but we still have time for 1 or 2 more hot laps. 1 more hot laps. A lap here is 1 minute 20, so he'll just have enough time to do another lap. Nakib Aslan right now P7. Nakib was just testing the waters in round 1, and we all know he's very competitive, top tier sim racers in Asia. And right now the fastest Malaysian car on the grid, P7, not bad.
Yeah, so we're entering the dying moment of the qualifying sessions. All drivers should be out here, trying to improve their lap.
And
here we have
not
Sky.
Improving it. That's not helping it. When you see Milana doing a best lap, just knocking Russell Reyes out from the front row. So we have Dinten, Milana, and then Pratama and P4, all guys from Legion of Racers. They are delivering their goods here. So Milana didn't have a point from round 1. He will really need one here.
Jay's a bit of disappointment, right? For our last round's winner, Keo is currently in 6th. It's just we saw him trying everything he could, but he just couldn't find a time to improve.
I think it would be, considering his last result, you could say that's a disappointment, but 3/10 off the best time isn't really that bad. I think usually he expecting somewhere between 1 or 1.2 tenths. He does have more, but he's in the pits now, so he's pretty much finished in the qualifying.
Yeah, alright.
The
So
only
we
cars still running outside Pratama, Burst, and Dylan 10.
So we see the timing hit 0, so all drivers they can finish their current lap. If they hasn't crossed the finish line, they will not be able to start a finish lap. So you see drivers with the checker flag next to them means that the sessions is done for them, and drivers still in green, they're probably still finishing their flying lap. So you see here Lucas Brass is just trying to do everything in the last moment to see if we can improve from P5 for Australia. See if we can put it in the first or second row.
His lap isn't that good, isn't that clean. He ran wide at turn 6. The line in the corkscrew is a bit too tight, and then he's losing it a bit over the crest.
Oh,
It's
so
a
he
better
just
lap.
bailed out his lap. It's not good enough. So he was like, "Nope, I'm not gonna show what I have now."
But P5 isn't bad. P5 is a good starting point. So behind him is 2 Purple Racing cars, and then the Q Aslan, Tashbeat. Bokita is another driver who probably expected a bit more, 6/10 from the pole. And then followed by Ratmat, Jasmati, Christian, Mia Rose, Chester Lam, Hasik, Halen. Huang Yuwang actually doing quite good for himself in P18.
So yeah, that's it for the qualifying session.
Let's take a small break before we go to the track.
So yeah, just to a small reminder to all viewers, the round 3 of the online qualifiers will be next Wednesday on November the 15th.
Actually, that remind me, we have to do one thing again.
Oh yeah, we have to pick the track for round 3.
We have to draw the track. We don't pick it.
Oh yeah, we draw it.
We draw it.
The computer picks it. The computer picks
Yeah,
it.
it's random.
All right, so we have Catalunya, Silverstone, and Monza still on the board. So what's it gonna be for round 3?
I'm not really fond of Monza.
Monza makes a good slipstream battle,
A lot of crashing into one.
All right, so what's it gonna be?
Anything but Monza, please.
No, Monza
Oh,
it
no,
is.
looks like it's gonna be Monza. No.
No,
stop.
Silverstone. It's probably going to be Silverstone. Yes, it stops in time. So we are heading to the United Kingdom, to Silverstone for the last round of the online qualifiers for the Asia Pacific GTE Motorsport Championship.
I think that's good news. Silverstone, fast and flowing. A bit of a Mickey Mouse session in the last session where you can do a outrageous dive. Usually, accidents happen.
Well, I mean, accidents can happen in all tracks. So yeah, we're gonna be in Silverstone for the round 3.
But right now we're focusing on Laguna Seca. Look at this grid. Look at this fabulous field of GT cars.
So the race is going to be 30 minutes. It's going to be a standing start, and cars do not have tire warmers, so all cars will be starting the race with cold tires. And the main focus of this race, at least for the first few laps, is who can get those tires up to temperature, and who can, start to, get use of these tires early on to the race. If you want to make up position in the race, you do want to attack at the start, because when the race settle down, it's going to be really difficult to catch up with the pack in front of you. So if you want to make a move, you want to do it at the start.
So right now we're seeing the cars on the back are actually just starting on the last turn, so they're not starting straight. They're starting at a bit of an angle, which is the bad thing. But for the guys at the front, there's no such problem. The inside line is the pole position line, which gives Dylan 10 a clean run into T1, hopefully, because T1 you really want to be on the inside on the two left-handers. So usually we see usually we only go to Laguna Seca on like IMSA traditional US races. Recently we see a bit more on like SRO GT America. This is not really a easy track to have battle with, so it's really tight, right?
Yeah, so the race is gonna be starting very, very soon. So those drivers are managing their nerves, trying to keep themselves calm, and hopefully get a good start off the line. Last race we do see some drivers having bad starts in the front, and it caused a bit of mayhem in the start. So hopefully now the whole grid can get off the line quick and make their moves.
Yeah, last time we see a lot of cars bogged down. The cars on front row bogged down, and then we see the cars from second row making a huge jump, which caused a bit of chaos really. These cars are not easy to launch because GT3 machineries were designed to do basically rolling starts. So here we are starting with standing start to spice up the action, and also without tire warmers, without like brake temperatures. It takes a lot of adaptation and experience for someone to make the most of the first lap. Well, if you know how to do it, you can pull a huge gap just on the first lap.
Yeah, but a lot of drivers, talked about wheel spin at the start, because they do not have, those tires are not warmed up, they are ice cold, so you have to manage the wheel spin, how much traction you want to put on, and how much you want the computer to be limiting those wheel spin other than, the driver itself, because some drivers, they had really bad starts last race, they complained, but they complain about those tires being really cold, but it's all the same for the whole grid, so we are just a few moments away from the race start, and we'll see who makes the best start. If Dylan from pole position could pull away and win this race, or is Manala gonna be all over the back of him?
Dylan wasn't satisfied with P2. I can tell you that.
Yeah, he only has winning in his mind.
Yes.
Finishing P2 is not good for him.
So right now, the grid is set.
All right, so 5 red lights here. And away we go. Dylan get a great start. Oh, not actually a pretty good start, but still he's hanging on to the lead. And you have Manala trying to hang on to the outside. And Dylan is going to defend into turn 1. He's going to secure the P1 position for now. And Manala is going to tuck in right behind him and trying to follow him in and pull away. And Russell Reyes getting all over the gravel. He's trying to stick it back to the inside and trying to take P3.
So right now...
Oh, we do see some mayhems at the back.
Yeah, I think it's Majasvi running into Bokita, or Bokita running into Majasvi. Either way, we got a little small tangle on the midfield, and then Mia Rose is dropping down the grid like a fly. So right now we're seeing actually 2 usual teammates like Maulana and Dylan Tan, usually teammates right now racing for their own regions. I think they will let it spread a little bit, and with Pratama and P3, they're gonna let it spread out a bit and then do their own battle.
So I do see on the screen Aslan, he made up a few positions in the start. I think he went from P9 to up to P7, so great start from him. And Kyo stays 6th, and Lucas Bass in 5th, Reyes in 4th, and Pratama in 3rd, Manala in 2nd, and Dylan in the lead. You can see the leading group trying to pull away at the start to avoid being attacked from the back. And you see those 2 teammates from the same team but representing different country here working together, trying to pull away the field.
One thing we need to mention is Kyo Yim, our winner from round 1, is not on the table. He is involved in something pretty major. Yep, so, Kyo Yim is P6. Oh, he just popped back up. So Kyo Yim is still here running, which helps his chances a lot.
Yeah, so here we see our cameras on Manala chasing down that Singapore entry of Dylan's hand. Both of them driving is pretty similar. They're taking very similar line. I think they're just trying to, manage the first part of the race. Once they get to the, at least 10 or 15 minutes into the race, then maybe they will start thinking about, attacking each other. But they don't want to do that too early on because they will draw the pack at the back to join the battle. So they're just trying to pull away. So here we have Lucas Brass in 5th place, chasing down Russell Reyes, and they do have a little bit of gap in front of him. You know, Russell Reyes did pull a little gap, I think around a 5/10 gap in between them, and right behind him we have Keo and Aslan and Skylight behind him, all in that second pack.
Lucas is pulling a bit of a train behind him, so he is definitely quick, but his car does look quite a bit of handful, especially on the mountain. And that allows Russell Reyes to pull a 1.2 second gap in front of him. And right now on his backside is 4 cars who are very eager to make progress. All the way the train goes to Chester Lamb right now to P11.
So yeah, so if Kyohim wants any chance of winning this race, he needs to dispatch that Australian GTR as quick as possible to try and reel the front-running group back in. So he's had to make quick work of him, but it doesn't seem like Lucas Reyes is going anywhere.
I wouldn't blame him just to settle on this place and then just like picking cars one by one off if he can, because he has a good round 1. He doesn't need to gamble on the round 2. But some guys behind him is Nakib Aslan. Nakib Aslan didn't pick up a lot of points in round 1, so he's eager to do more, and he's not afraid to use what they have in a BMW Z4 to attack the cars in front.
So yeah, just in case you missed it, we do have our first retirement. Mia Rose from Australia has retired from this race, probably from the incident in the start at the back, you know, the back of the carnage. This race car probably has acquired too much damage to continue, so that's very unfortunate for the Australian entry.
Yeah, Gamiros ran to the same issue in round 1 when he hit Andika Rama.
Also here we have Reyes and Pratama in a bit of a tussle. Look at Pratama all the back of Reyes. I think Reyes ran wide.
I think Reyes was in P4 and he passed in turn 1.
So he made a great move.
He made a great move, and then but right now Pratama has the pace to probably get it back, but at the same time, all this fighting allowed Lucas Reyes to catch up to this.
Yeah, and the Audi is not, known to have the best straight line speed, and so, he's gonna suffer, a little bit, after that overtake. He will need to defend his position and find his rhythm again. But it really did invite the whole party back then to come and join this overtake party. Look at Lucas Reyes is all over the back of Pratama already. So this group is really tussling for this, third position.
This is gonna be one of those fights that no one wants to go ugly, because everyone is banking on these big points. But at the same time, you don't want to just back down, because sometimes when you try to play it safe, you actually could more likely run into incident because you're not giving it all. But right now, you're seeing Reyes putting up a little bit of breathing space for himself in front of Pratama. 3/10, not much, but 3/10 is enough to not get run into at the back.
See Reyes there, very, very, very back end happy. I think it's very throttle happy. His rears sliding all over the place. That certainly didn't help his exit. But then he seems to be, pulling a small gap from Pratama, at least not as close from the previous lap. So he's doing a good job, defending that defending Pratama.
Yeah, it's not really defending, but it's probably just running your own race. He's not watching the rearview mirror right now. He's just running as clean as he can, as precise as he can. And Pratama is a bit out of shape on the mountain, a bit too deep in the corkscrew, which hurts his speed coming down the mountain. But everyone is doing just enough to stay on the island right now.
Yeah, so generally a pretty clean start, other than a little accident at the back. So all cars do get off the race line, and they are all racing at the moment.
So here we have another group, Jerrycan. Jerrycan had a bad race run. He had T1 trouble again. But right now it's on 16th. He's looking at that 1 point, the first point, which is 4 seconds in front of him. So doing his best to chase down one series, but behind him actually is Bokita and Kamal Ali. Bokita you're looking, she has some front damage, so another eventful lap one, and then another recovery drive for her.
But despite that damage, a beautiful overtake on the last corner for Bukita.
Yeah, for her standard, it should be quite an easy move usually, but nothing is easy on Laguna Seca.
Yeah, so we see Jerry Khan here trying to pull away from Bukita and chasing Tannable Wong Siri in the Seoul Thailand entry in the front.
And then here we have Taspeak. Taspeak right now in P9. He's probably looking for a bit more. He's probably looking for a P6 or P5 even, looking at this grid. Skylight in front is doing okay, but his car doesn't look all the way too happy.
Yeah. So it behaves very differently. Two exact same Ferrari, but behaves very differently. You can tell on the track. One's car's rear is rotating more. One's, I think, is just a little bit more idle in the corner. So we'll see how this battle pans out. And Chester, I think he's got pulled away a little bit. There's a little bit of gap between him.
Chester is actually doing quite well in qualifying, so his pace is there, but whether he can sustain the pace lap by lap, and then to make no mistake.
Chester currently 12th in this race. Will be a point scorer if finishes that way. So he do want to score as much point as possible.
Yep, and his comrade Christian is in P10. So similar result from round one. So we're going back to the front from Pratama. Pratama and Lucas Burst kind of settled down, and then Pratama from Reyes also kind of settled down. So we are having a bit of a truce here, a bit of mid-race break, 10 minutes in the race. The car starts to get lighter, but then the tires also start to go away. So the dynamics will be slightly different.
So currently, Dylan holds the fastest lap of the race, 119.936. The only driver that dips into the 119s. All the other drivers are doing 20s or the 21s. So Dylan is absolutely flying in the front. He's already pulled a 1.7 gap from Manala. So he did a very great job at the start of the race, and see if we can translate that into a race win.
And let's say Chris Zhang in trouble. Chris Zhang is in a pit exit row for some reason.
We didn't quite catch that, but it seems like his car has a little bit of problem. Not full speed running on the track, so he's dropping down the order. That's very unfortunate for Chris. He was in a strong point scoring position. Now he's dropped all the way to 23rd. It's probably initially, 23rd. Yeah, 23rd. So he's got a lot of work to do.
But his
to catch up.
misfortune means right now Bukita has 1 point. And Bukita needs, I think, at least a top 10 finish to at least not lose out too much in this round, because definitely she's going to lose out a lot to the midfield. Wrong Siri is also on the verge of his first point for Thailand. At the same time, Alex Capano is making decent amount of points.
Yeah, so these drivers, they're just trying to score points. This, the reason for these races, they want to rack up as much point as they can to qualify for the offline grand finals. Only the top 12 drivers in the standing will be able to qualify for the offline grand final. So some drivers here, they are at the start, when you already have a whole lot of points, you just have to finish the race and not score DNF to secure your entry.
You're looking at some McLaren versus McLaren action. Just Matthew got the inside line in turn 1, turn 2, but Jason C got a better exit for turn 3, so he managed to keep his position for now.
Jumanji, McLaren is pretty banged up. You can tell he's all scratched up and probably suffered from damage. That's why Jason C is pulling away from him.
Yeah, this kind of aero damage actually hurts you a lot. You can lose a second or two just from downforce, and then we can't tell whether he has also like suspension damage as well, which for this track is kind of a big deal, because
There is lots of elevation change, and there's lots of corners where you need to lean the car towards it. So having those mechanical problem doesn't help a single bit.
See the set 4 here. Putting pressure on Kylian. Kylian actually is kind of doing a rear guard duty for Lucas Burst right now. So he doesn't really have space to move ahead, but also don't want to drop back too much into Aslan's grip. Yeah.
I mean, Kyo has to, at some point, if he wants to, goes into the top 5, he will have to make a move and not just, follow. So let's see where he could pull out that overtake, because I'm sure Aslan will want to get, past Kyo as well.
Yeah, Aslan is looking for clearing both these cars, and let's see if Skyline can help out Kyo a bit by putting a bit of pressure on Aslan. But right now, the pace seems Aslan has the pace in the lead.
So while this battle is going on, Dylan Tan has stretched out his lead to the 2.3 seconds, another 5/10 away from Manala. And Manala has a very comfortable gap of 2.6 seconds ahead of Russell Reyes as well. So the top 3s are pretty spread out. And here we have Dylan Tan, doing a purple sector 1. So he is still trying to find, pace to pull away from that gap. What a brilliant display from Dylan Tan from race start till now.
Yeah, really, that's the only way he knows, right? Go full speed and then go full speed all the time. So we have here just Matthew give it a dive, Jason C. Two drivers giving each other space on the exit, which is nice, but you're going to do a cutback and then try an outside line in turn 1 to get the inside line in turn 3. Is that the plan?
Yeah, but Jason is not going to let this go easy, though. He's going to hug the inside curb and, not let him get a crossover.
Nah, he's going to cross over now, but his exit isn't the best. The two cars.
Oh, switcheroo! We call it the classic switcheroo from the outside to the inside. Oh! Unfortunately, those two drivers come together. And, we're not going to judge whose mistake was there, So, unfortunate for the Macau entry.
They almost get it clean all the way, almost. They just touch a bit
unfortunate
too much
there.
on the exit.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, we've seen quite good driving standards so far in this championship. I guess a lot of drivers have a lot of experience in other championship. They don't really want the eye of the steward on them. So never a good thing.
Yeah. So here we have the camera back on P6 Kyo chasing down Lucas Brass.
Kyo is just staying station right now. He's not really putting pressure on the car in front. He's just keeping enough space behind himself. So usually, like in Mugello, we see Kyo is being able to pull out a healthy gap even from Dylan Tan. But on this race, probably he hasn't got the perfect setup
for this racetrack. Yeah, probably that's the reason for it. And here we have Dylan stretched out his lead to a 3.2 seconds, so another 5/10 in that last 2 laps. So he's just, comfortably in the lead, a little bit like Max Verstappen in Formula 1, just pulling out and just doing his own race.
Yep. Right now, who is not pulling out is Alexi Capano. We see Monsiri and Bukita. Bukita put a move on Monsiri, and then Bukita is gonna hunt down Alex Capano in no time.
Yeah, so currently Tabo Wong Siri is sitting at the last point scoring position at 15th.
Mm-hmm. And 1 point is better than nothing, but 1 point doesn't really help you in the championship either. He needs a bit more for Thailand to make it to Hong Kong.
Yeah, we are definitely rooting for the sole entry from Thailand.
So right now we have Jason C here. Right now, after the spin, after being spun by Masavin, he's in the reach of Huang Yuhuang from Chinese Taipei, which is the top Chinese Taipei car right now on 20th. This is going to be a fight because Jason C had property damage, and also his rear tires is going to be shot after that spin. So he needs time to cool down his rear tires. On his behind is Huang Yuhuang, which is quite consistent and quite rapid.
So we are more than halfway through the race. So there's only 13 minutes left on the clock. And our top 10 is Dylan Tan, Munala, Russell Reyes, Pratama, Lucas Bras, Kyo Yim, Nikhil Aslan, Skylight, and Tasby and Rashma rounding up the top 10.
Yep. I'm going to keep an eye on the progress of Bokita on the timesheet. She is Huntington Caprano. Last lap she was 1 second off right now. She's probably almost in the shooting range.
So what's interesting on the timing board where we can see here at the studio is that Russell Reyes has done a purple first sector. So I think he's finally realized if he wants to catch P2, he has to start pushing now towards the end of the race. So he's putting in qualifying laps and trying, reel Munala in.
Yeah, because when you come to Hong Kong in the finals, you have to beat him. So right now he's in a good spot. He has the points. He can try a bit of a more adventurous move to see where can he find advantage against Bolana and even possibly Dylan Zhang. So Skylight is actually falling a bit from Nakib Aslan, and behind him, Tasby looks quite lively.
Yeah. So currently we have Skylight being chased down by Tasby, and Skylight has been doing a good job holding off Tasby. Tasby tried to pull a few overtaking moves in the last few laps, trying the outside and the inside, and still Skylight was successfully holding off Tasby. So great job there from Skylight holding up P8.
Whoa! Caplano spun on top of corkscrew.
So I'm not sure if that was a tap at the back or it was just a spun naturally, because I thought maybe Bonkeda tap at the back of that driver. So I'm not too sure.
Actually has about like 2 to 3 tenths gap to him at that point. So unlikely, but it could also happen. So we can't really tell. Right now, Bonkita's car is all scalps up left and right, front and back. So she has been through a lot in this race. But another place picked up.
Another place, another point. One step closer to the grand finals.
Another Australian racer, Lucas Burrs, is steady. The car doesn't look particularly easy to drive, but he's making it work. Kyo doesn't have a look in, and then Aslan is putting pressure on Kyo. We are looking at this train between P5 and P10.
So Kyo is getting a very good view at the back of that GTR. He's been following that Lucas Bras for almost the entirety of the race. So see if he could pull off a overtaking move towards the end. If there's anything left in his pocket, he has to bring it out now.
Nakib Aslan is another driver who is dropping a bit actually. Aslan had dropped up from Kyo Yim, probably a small mistake on his part. And then we see Ron Siri has left the server.
Yeah.
Outright.
So it just shows that he's no longer in. It could be a connection issue, or he could maybe had a big crash. We're not sure, but that's unfortunate for Tanabo Wong Siri. He was running P15 at the last point scoring position. He was hoping to score first point for Thailand, but unfortunately,
and Rahmat,
dropped out.
What happened to Rahmat?
Oh, we have
Indonesia
entry. Rahmat just stopped, I believe in turn 1. We're not sure, we didn't quite catch what happened, but his car stopped and he was running in P11. So beneficiary for the drivers at the back, but not a good news for Team Indonesia.
So just Rafi doing another try of the T1 attack, this time on Kamal Ali. Kamal Ali needs the points where he didn't open his account in race 1. And right now they are on the verge of the last points.
Oh, Russell Reyes gone to the top of the timing sheet.
Probably just a timing error.
Probably yes. Yeah. I got a little bit too excited. I thought we were gonna get a photo finish.
But sometimes when like drivers drop in and out the server, it's mess with timing a little bit. But what we're seeing right now is Kamali defending as best as good against quite quick McLaren, but also quite damaged McLaren. You can see the glass on the right side door has been cracked. So as it just must be, it's not in a very healthy car.
But despite the damage, he did
Big
getting the
switch.
back end very wide there, but still manages to the car still manages to be on the track and still chasing down that Ferrari.
The Ferrari has the straight line prowess from the last corner, so he's well protected into turn one. But then I guess Just Murphy is slightly faster in the middle of the corner.
Jamasvi is doing a good job managing that. Oh, getting very
Almost cursed by the commentators.
getting very very slidey there.
Yeah.
I think it means that he's driving that car 100% now. He's extracting every single bit of that McLaren, trying to get past that Ferrari. He did a pretty good job managing that damage. He got quick work of Jason, and now he's trying to pass get past that Ferrari. But he's trying everything he could.
But no, when you do a big slide like that, you're gonna damage your rear tire bit, and then that will lead to even more sliding.
While we here see Campano getting over the back of Jason, trying to get past that Chinese Macau entry.
For the first point, Jason C's first point is gonna protect him. They're not really hanging it all out down corkscrew, so it's still being a bit cautious. Whoa.
I'm sure Jason won this point, although this point is not like F1, you don't get millions for that 1 point, but you still get that, precious 1 point that could potentially put you in the offline final. So he's trying everything he could to protect that point, because Jamansvi in front of him has already disappeared. So he's basically, this race is all about protecting that 1 point.
Yeah, and Hang Yuhuang is not far behind, doing kind of similar pace. So we'll see this develop. We're still at 5 minutes on the clock, so we'll let it play it out. And right now in front, Kyo Yim is kind of losing touch with Lucas Burst, or maybe he decided this was enough. Either way, he should emerge, because right now Dylan Tan has P1, so Dylan Tan has P1 and P2, so Dylan Tan will probably lead the championship. But Kyo is still in a good position to make a cut to the top 12.
Yeah, just there, my qualifying prediction came in. Look at Chester Lamb and P10. I was just saying that if he could, put his car in the top 10, then he will massively boost his chance of going to the finals. Because there are some, there are some drivers that hovering around that 10 to 15 position did retire this race, like Chris. So he's done himself a really good job here, put a whole lot of points if he finishes P10.
Yeah, Chester is one of the guys who's really passionate about his racing and passionate about representing Hong Kong in a competition like this. So we're happy to see him do well, and we hope we can see him in the finals alongside other Hong Kong drivers.
Yeah.
Also, Kylian passed Pratama, or Pratama passed Kylian for a fraction of a second, and then Kylian had came back into his rightful place in front of Pratama, and then all the guys behind are actually looking quite fast compared to the pace of Kyo right now.
Yeah, look, Kyo, I think he just massively dropped off. That he was following Lucas Perez for like a good amount of time, but then all of a sudden, I think there was a little change of position, and I think Kyo got it back. But then look at Pratama now, all over the back of Kyo.
Yeah, it's we call his smelling blood. So when you see Cleo running offline, making mistakes, all you want to do is put pressure on him and then try to push him off the edge. It's still 4 minutes to go, so around 3 laps to go. Pratama needs these points. He did have a good first race, so he needs big points for the second race.
So I believe Pratama was running P4, and then I think he made a mistake or some sort, and he dropped 2 places. So now Lucas Brass is up to P4, and Kyo is up to P5.
Lucas again, steady, ready, steady, picking up points.
Yeah, and Pratama now is in P6, followed by Aslan, Skyline, and Tasby, and Chester Lamb rounding up the top 10. So here we have less than 5 minutes. Actually, it's only 3.5 minutes left in the race. So that will be, I think, a good 2 laps if the race leader passes the checker flag spot before the time runs out. I think we'll get probably 2 laps or 3.
So right now, Nakib has been looking like feisty for a long time, but he haven't actually put down a move. Is Pratama? No. That's not a good exit of the last corner.
Yeah, so I think Arslan is the first time seeing Pratama's Mercedes, right? Pratama's running P4 all this race and all of a sudden drop back behind, right in front of Arslan. So it is his chance to overtake Pratama and take that P6 away from him.
Yeah, we're looking at the timing right now and trying to spot any sort of move from Arslan. This looks quite close. So we're also looking at the last points, which is just Matthew versus Jason C.
Yeah, and Campano in 16s is only he was 5/10s off, but now the gap increased to 1 second. So see if Campano can take that point away from Jason.
Let's see just Matthew do this move into turn 1. I guess he has to run inside or outside.
I'll say inside is the safe bet, right? You never want to be on the outside.
Oh, but then Makamali has a very good braking into a turn 1. Oh, Skyline. What happened to Skyline?
Oh.
Skyline we had a bad run up the mountain, and then we see Tasby. Skyline, how much pace did he drop? Not really much.
Yeah, but I think all those tires towards the end of the sessions are pretty worn out, and although there's less fuel in the car, but then those tires are pretty warmed up. This driver, they have to change their driving style. They can no longer drive like qualifying lap.
Kylian got past Lucas Rose.
Yeah, Kyo Yim got past Lucas Perez up to P4. We missed that.
We gotta stick with this group, really.
Yeah, and Pratama be like, if you can do it, I can do it, right? So he's gonna try and make work of Lucas Perez. Look at him, put his nose out to the inside and give a little tap to Lucas Perez. He's trying everything he could to disrupt Lucas Perez, but he's doing a good job. Although he lost a position to Kyo, he's still trying to hang on to that 5th place where he was almost all this race.
Yep, they are both trying to just settle down, and then because this is last lap, right? There's no point trying to go for the heroics right now. You spend half an hour chasing the driver down.
Yeah, I think for these top 8 drivers, if they finish this way, it's a good loads of points for them, and it really secures like another step further secure their spot in Hong Kong. So I don't think they should be taking any, we call it, unnecessary risk at the moment, unless like a brilliant opportunity presents itself. If not, I think this driver should be thinking about the future. Look at Pratama looking all over the back of Lucas Braswell. I thought he's gonna put a car in the inside, but no.
He ran a bit wide and then got 2 wheels on the dirt, which is actual dirt. But his last corner is not bad.
Yeah, we're gonna get another lap because our leader Dylan Tan, 4.1 seconds in front. He just crosses the line before the times runs out, so we're gonna get another lap. So here Lucas Reyes trying to fend off Pratama, and he invites the whole party. Aslan is trying to join that overtake party, and this last lap is going to be dramatic. I'm pretty sure all drivers, if you see a gap, you want to go for it, right? As the great Senna said. So I'm sure they're going to try something here if the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, and Senna said it, and he actually...
Oh, so Pratama doesn't have the opportunity to attack. Instead, he has to defend from Aslan because Aslan got pretty close.
Yeah, Aslan got a better exit from turn 2, and then I would say Pratama will have...
Whoa! We got a big moment from that Ferrari. I think that Ferrari spun out. I'm not sure. That Ferrari is Tasby, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, no. It's a... I see Dylan 10 dropping... Oh, no. It's just a timing error. So we'll have a look at the leading car right now.
So Dylan 10 is going to come to the finish line and wins the second... Is it done yet? Yeah, he's gonna win the second round of the online qualifiers of the Asia Pacific GT E-motorsport Championship, and we have Manala in second and Russell Reyes in third.
Kylian in fourth. Lucas Perez just doing it in P5 again, and then Aslan not really gaining much, right? He gained 1 against Pratama, and that's it.
Yeah, I think we won't call it the loser here, but the big loser is Pratama dropping from P4 to P7 in that last 8 minutes of the race. So well done to those drivers that overtake. Oh, we see Kyo here doing a donut, celebrating that brilliant drive. He at some point at P6 he was looking very miserable, couldn't make up any place, but then those position kind of presents to him, and then he took the chance, and then he finished P4.
The fight for the last points. Capano, Huang, Jason C, 3 cars fighting for the last points.
Unless Jason makes a mistake, I I think this point should be safe in the bag. You know, we have that last corner. Is he gonna go for it? No, he's going very, very defensive. Are we gonna get a run to the line, like a photo finish?
Yes, but there's not much space for two guys to go side by side, and then Huang just misses it on the last lap.
Brilliant effort from the Chinese Taipei driver. You know, like finish 16 is a massive improvement from their last result. And congrats to Jason from Macau, China. You know, snatching that last point.
I think he would have loved that 1 point.
Yeah, every point counts, as we said, because we're only running 3 rounds of the online qualifiers. Just another reminder, the top 12 drivers in this point scoring will be qualified to the offline grand finals.
I guess, yeah, Chinese Taipei would have really loved that first point, but a decent effort nonetheless from other guys.
I mean, so close yet so far, you know. So, you know, they still have another round to try and, you know, score some points.
Yeah, the last round is going to be extra spicy because there's the last chance to make the top 12, right? So there's no holding back, and there's no more playing it safe. So they're got to be extra difficult.
So yeah, we see some drivers on track doing some donuts, you know, celebrating their victories. In here, donuts are allowed, you know. So
it's America.
America allowed donuts. They love
Right.
it, actually.
We're just looking at the podium right now.
Yeah, so finished 3rd place, we have Russell Reyes from Philippines. And we have Munala from Indonesia finishing 2nd. And we have Dylan Tan winning his first race in the Asia Pacific GTE Motorsport Championship. So he narrowly missed out on that race win last round. So he claimed it back this weekend.
Yeah, a bit late though. I expected to win my first race. It's a bit harsh on him, but that is the caliber of the kind of driver that Dylan Tan is famous for. Yeah, that's to win every time. So he's with us in the interview room right now. We can invite him for a chat.
Yeah, so the winner of this race, Dylan Tan, is gonna join us here in the commentary booth for a quick interview.
Hi, Dylan. Your mic is still off, but you can sort it out. Slowly, take your time.
Yeah, you're the winner. You can take your time.
It's like a cool down room, right? You can have a chat and then talk about the race replay, and then slowly. He's wearing something quite interesting on his head.
Yeah, so we here in the commentary booth, we can see all the drivers driving, and Dylan is just sorting his microphone out. So just give us a 1 second, and
Yeah,
we'll
the luxury we don't have. 1 minute, that's what they say. The luxury you don't have as a sim racer is an engineer by your side, and then helping you out with the radios and stuff. You have to do it all by yourself. That's the hard part of being a sim racer.
But you know, these drivers, you know, they do enjoy, you know, doing sim racing. You know, they find it very, very competitive in sim racing. You can do very, very close racing. You know, even though there is any accident, you don't have to pay that huge bill.
And that makes the incident all the more frequent sometimes. hopefully in Asia Pacific Championship we have a very clean, tidy race.
Generally, for first and second race, the driving standard is pretty good. You know, all drivers are being very respectful. They leave, you know, space on the outside. They don't push other drivers off the track, and then they stay out of the way when other drivers are doing, you know, their qualifying laps. So pretty, you know, good standard in this championship.
Mm-hmm. So I can see he has a monitor up on top of his race monitor, so you see him looking up all the time. Interesting setup.
Come on, where's Dylan?
Dylan's there. Is he
So before we have Dylan in the booth, we're just going to repeat the finishing order with Dylan Tan finished first, Manal in second, Russell Reyes in third, Keo Yim in fourth, Lucas Breas in fifth, Nikhil Aslan in sixth, Pratama in seventh, Skyline on the eighth, Taz B in 9th, Chester Lamb in 10th, and Philippe Bonqueda in 11th, and then Khan in 12th, Jamansvi in 13th, Ali in 14th, Jason C in 15th, and Huang in 16th, and Campano in 17th, He Liang in 18th, and Yang in 19th, and Wu in 20th, and let's round up the top 20. And we have 6 retirements in this race. We have Askia retired, Rashmi retired as well, and Wang Siri also ran into some issue. Gary Lin, Chris Junk, and Mia Rose all retired from the race.
So we have Dylan jumping out from the car, taking one headphone and then replace it with another. Probably the headphone is not the right one, and he's putting that off again and figure out why this headphone doesn't work.
Well, he's glad that the headphone that's not working, not the steering wheel that wasn't working.
Yeah. Definitely. As a race. Oh, you finished the race. That's the more important thing. But you get fined if you don't attend the post-race conference in F1. It could be the same thing here.
So, yeah, we might. We're not sure what the steward would do. But maybe a fine. They won't take your they won't take your results away, but maybe a fine.
Well, it's a cruel joke to him after an amazing race like that. Do we have Malana, his team manager, on the radio? Can we have him instead, maybe?
Yeah, let's put someone on the.
There's no one here right now. So, do we give him at a minute? Maybe if not, maybe we go back to our usual program, which is thanking the sponsors and then reminding everyone that to come back next week for the final race.
Come on, Dylan. Do you not want to do this press conference?
I guess he's aware though. Or?
Yeah, I think he's aware. He's in the
Oh. Dylan Tan San, that's a private message. Can we use Discord? We're using Discord. Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason why. I think we have some
using Discord.
So excuse me, viewers. Just hang on to the moment. We're trying to get the race winner Dylan Tan from Singapore to give us a brief interview of how the race went for him. So just hang on tight.
Right. So he kind of mistaken the voice channel to be on the Zoom call, which isn't the Zoom call, just for like validating the driver. So it's now frantically moving over to Discord.
How many pairs of headphones does Dylan has? I think he's cycled through like 4 pairs of headphones.
Yeah.
Hello?
Whoa, you finally here.
Hi, Dylan.
We just had a good 5 minutes of watching you figure it out about headphones and
I thought you guys were using Zoom.
You should have paid attention on the pre-race briefing.
Yeah. Here we are. We found something to talk about.
Yeah. So rather an eventful race for you, right? The start was okay. Malana gave you plenty of room. I saw it.
Yeah.
And then it was just plain sailing. Can you talk us through what was the difference between round 1 and round 2? Or what gave you the extra pace this time around?
I think what gave me the extra pace was that we had more preparation with the right settings. Yeah, because for the first race, when we were in the official server, the grid was completely different. So we didn't know what to do. So we just had to drive with it. Yeah, but this time we were prepared. So yeah, extra pace.
So yeah, well done to adapting, different conditions. The start was pretty good for you. Some drivers do struggle to get off the line. Could you share a little tips of how you could get off the line like you do? Oh no, you want to keep that to yourself.
I think it's just practice your starts. Yeah.
All right, so wise word from our race winner Dylan Tan today. If you want to beat him, his advice is practice more.
Preparation and practice. Basically, everything about sim racing, right? You can get really fast if you do that. So we're gonna let you go now.
So congratulations, Dylan. We hope to see. We will see you back in race 3, and hopefully you could be winning this race again. So congratulations, Dylan Tan.
Thank you.
See ya. All right, so our job today here is done.
Yeah, so a pretty eventful race. Dylan basically got his redemption back. So here, a little reminder for everyone: our third round of the online qualifiers will be on the 15th of November. And thanks to our official sponsor, equipment sponsor, Chemist. They will be using the Chemist DDW 15 Nm and LC100 pedals and the GT1 steering wheel for our offline grand finals. Here we have in the commentary booth, we want to say thank you to everyone for joining us today. And here, Jay and I, we out. See you guys.